All right, guys. So in this video, we're gonna do a little game analysis here. We're gonna look at a game I played in. It was like a couple weeks ago at this point now. Um, Part of the reason I wanted to show this is I'm wearing the Bauer Mach Chest Protector in this, which I recently did a review on. It was my last video. So partly I wanted to just kind of show footage of myself wearing it just so you guys could see. There's a few specific things I'm going to point out here that have to do with the chest protector, but for the most part, it's just some saves and there's a goal. They only scored one goal on me this game, but there is a teachable moment in that goal, so I'm going to show it. But for the most part, it's just an analysis review of my game, how I played this game, what I did right, what I did wrong, what I could have done differently on certain things. In some cases, it's the I did something not that great, but it ended up working out where I made the save or they didn't score. So, there's such a thing as right process, wrong result, and there's such a thing as wrong process, right result. So we'll just take a look and I'll just kind of talk through what I did in these saves and whatever. So let's take a look at the first one here. And this is a live barn feed, which sucks, but it's really the only way I have to record actual games. I can't really do it on my GoPro. So using live barn feed here. So excuse the shitty video, but it's what I have to work with for this purpose here. All right, so let's take a look back at this. So this guy gets, pretty good opportunity there. I mean, the shot isn't that great. I make the blocker save, direct it to the corner, which is what you're supposed to do. But I think partly because the shot is kind of a muffin, it didn't come off my blocker that hot, and it kind of, you would have liked it to go all the way to the corner, and it kind of just died there. So he was able to corral the puck again. And then this guy's coming in, and number 7 on D there, I'm not really sure what he's doing, but he just let that guy come right in there. So now he gets the puck. He doesn't get it quite clean, so by the time he really has it on his stick, he's in a bad angle. He's right by the net, which it looks like he might try a little stuff play there, which is why I go down in the RVH with the paddle down just to try to snuff that out. But he ends up going behind the net. So I kind of, there's like this thing where you called using your windows when you're watching a guy behind the net, which is kind of what I do here. So I kind of slap my body over just because he's heading that way. So just in case he does go that way, my body's on that side. But I keep my head turned. You see, I never take my eyes off, and my head is turned the whole time looking at him using my window because I had a feeling he was going to come back around, which he does. So he comes back that way. I slide back over to my blocker side. He passes out in front. Now, normally in this kind of a play, quick play like this, pass out in front, this guy's going to, kind of shoot a one-timer, shoot it right away. But he doesn't get the pass clean. It looks like it might have hit my defenseman or something. Looks like the puck might be bouncing. So he kind of fumbles it, which then kind of turns this to a broken play because I'm kind of setting up here in a blocking style, thinking he's just going to kind of fire this real quick on net. But because he fumbles with it, you see where the puck is, where he probably should have shot it from if he got it clean. Fumbles it, and now it's in a completely different position. So I really don't have a chance to get back on my feet at this point. So I have to do the next best thing. I push off from the post, come out to cut down the angle even though I'm down. And that's what happens. Let's just watch it again in real time. Goes around, passes out. I shuffle out on my knees, cover the angle, make the save, cover the rebound. There you go. Dead puck, end of play. No goal. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, this is a very basic one, and really the only thing I wanted to show here is just a reminder that, you take a look, read the play. This guy really has no other options. I mean, yes, technically there was that guy he could have made a drop pass to, but there's really no advantage for him to do that. And you could tell he was just eyeing that shot all the way. It's from, decent distance out. So I'm coming out to cut down the angle. You see how aggressive I am. I'm like 2 feet, 1.5 feet above the crease. But I know there's no other option. I know he's shooting it. So I can really be super aggressive here. Take advantage of that. Make the glove save. No rebound. End of play. Boom. So it's simple, but, we like simple goaltending. Simple goaltending is good goaltending. And yeah, so just a reminder, kind of like, read the room. You know when you can really be aggressive like this to really give the guy no chance to score. Okay, so this is going to be a Bauer Mach specific clip, meaning there's something I wanted to show you specifically in this clip having to do with the Bauer Mach Chest Protector. So let's go back here. Oops. So again, kind of another broken play situation here, which, hey, it's beer league. That's kind of a lot of those. So he's passing it, I guess, to that guy. I don't know if he actually even saw that guy or he's just blindly throwing it in front of the net. But so this guy misses his chance to get it. The second guy misses his chance to get it, although it looks like maybe my defenseman lifted his stick or something. I don't know. Either way, so the first two guys I'm thinking might get it, don't get it. And then all of a sudden this guy's just by himself here. So it's a little bit of a last minute adjustment by me because I'm not expecting this to happen. You'd think one of the first two guys would have got it. I move out a little bit to help cut down the angle on this broken play. It goes off my shoulder, I believe. It goes behind the net. Okay, and I just wanted to show you how the Bauer Mach Chest Protector looks in the RVH and the coverage you get from it. As I say in my video for it, it's, kind of a broader, wider, more squared off in the shoulders look to the chest protector. You can see I'm really covering that RVH, as good as I can with my size. I mean, I'm only 5'11", so, there's going to be some room up by my head next to my ear. But as far as the body, I mean, that's solid coverage in the RVH. And so I just kind of wanted to show you what it looked like with the chest protector in the RVH here. And then, yeah, not a lot happens after that. So that's really the main point I wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like in the RVH wearing that chest protector, and that was just a good shot of it in this clip. Let's look what happens here. Okay, yeah. So this is going to be similar to the one I showed you 2 clips ago. Again, simple. The guy has no other option but to shoot. I'm above the top of the crease. Look it into my blocker. Turn the blocker to the corners. Shoot the rebound to the corner where there's no danger. Out of play. Boom. Easy way to just, end that play and not have anything really dangerous happen. So again, simple play, but, just something to keep in mind. Again, challenge when you can. Make sure you take care of that rebound. And it's easy. Okay, so this is another thing I wanted to show that has to do with the chest protector. If you watched my review video on it, I mentioned that there was a bit of an issue, and not just with the Mach, but I've noticed it with when I first got the Hyperlight. Not so much anymore with the Hyperlight, but especially when it was new. Sometimes shots can come off it a little weird and cause unwanted rebounds. It doesn't happen like every time you get hit there. It seems to be just kind of certain types of shots that hit certain areas. But it's just something I've noticed seems to be a bit more. Something like this happens with this newer Bauer chest protectors as opposed to other ones. I don't know if it's the materials they use, this core composite stuff that they put in all their gear, which is why, rebounds come off very hot off the pads, off the blocker, which in that situation you want them to come off hot. The chest protector, you don't. But it's not that this happens all the time. I think this is about the only time it happened in this game, but it's just something that I talked about in the review, so I wanted to show it here. So this guy gets this nice wide open shot right in front here. Hits me kind of high chest, kind of maybe to my right shoulder. Comes off weird. The puck's kind of bouncing all over. I mean, I'm like inches away from being able to cover it, but I can't cover it. So what does that cause? Now this guy gets another shot. Excuse me. And this could have been avoided if I was able to just smother that rebound. But it came off it weird. This was just an example of something I talked about in the reviews, why I wanted to show it. It's not something that happens all the time. Again, I want to reiterate that. It's not like a huge problem with it. Excuse me. But it's just something I wanted to show because I did mention it in the review, how this can happen very rarely with this unit. No harm, no foul, but it could have been. It could have easily been a goal. That's why you don't want to leave bad rebounds out there. All right, so this one, I don't think they even ever get an actual shot on goal this whole play, but that's not the point I want to show you here. The point I want to show you, a couple things. So this guy's going behind the net, starts coming around here. So I default immediately to the RVH just because of his proximity to coming around the side of the net. Excuse me, I need to drink something here. In the meantime, let me keep doing this. Sorry, I don't mean for the ASMR me drinking, but throat was getting a little dry. So this guy comes around. I was in the RVH. I don't mind being in the RVH here. I mean, I was thinking he might try some quick play there, which the RVH would have been the right choice. Now, once he reaches about this point, I would have liked to have seen myself get back on my feet already. I don't remember now. Like I said, it's been a few weeks. What was going through my head? I did have a little bit of traffic in front with my own guys, so maybe it was because I didn't have a clean look at it, and that's why I just stayed down, just because I was screened and I, kind of wanted to just cover what I could down low. I do eventually get back up on my knees once I get a clear shot at the clear view of him with the puck here. So it's not that I stay down the whole time, but in a perfect world, I said don't mind the RVH off the bat there because there could have been something right at the short side. But once he gets to about there, coming out of the area where the RVH is the right option, I should have started getting up like right there. So that's something I would have liked to have seen myself do differently. So that's why I wanted to point this out. Another thing I want to point out is, so besides RVH, I still use the VH. Seems to be a dying thing. Not too many people still use the VH anymore. It was kind of the predecessor of the RVH. I love doing it in this specific situation, and especially on my glove side. I don't do it too much on my blocker side, but the glove side, just the way it works out. So when the guy's short side here on my glove side, and he's a right-handed shooter, I can go down in the VH and shut him down completely. He has no angle to shoot out there. I am covering the entire angle to the net that the puck has at this point. So, and like I can just sit, if he's got the puck there, I can sit there all day like that, and there's nothing he can do. But now you could say, well, you could maybe just be in a regular butterfly there or RVH. But what I like about the VH here is I have my left foot planted. So if he does try, passing the puck across or whatever, since he has no shot, I'm already prepared to push over there. I don't have, like in the RVH, you have to then lift your skate and dig in and then push. This eliminates that little extra step and you can push right off the bat. So that's what happens here. I don't know if it's that he realized he had no shot or what, but he decides to try to just throw it back the other way. So I immediately push off and start heading that way. I mean, it was kind of a blind pass. There really wasn't anybody there to get it cleanly. So it didn't amount to anything, but I just kind of wanted to show why I do the VH in this specific situation, and I love it. It's very effective in that specific situation. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay. So I want to show you how I play the rebound on this one. This is what I wanted to show. So the pass comes to this guy. He's in a very dangerous spot here, and my own defenseman's kind of right in the way. I mean, that's not a great position for him. I mean, he's right in front of me and not really close to the, the guy shooting. So I got a little bit of a screen there, which kind of forces a little bit of an awkward save for me because I don't really see it that clean, right? Even if I did see it off his stick, it has to come across my defenseman, and so now I'm trying to track it through this guy's body. But I do make the first save, but it's a little bit of an awkward rebound. Goes right to this guy, and then I make the save. Now, what I kind of wanted to point out here is this might be a situation where somebody might panic, get desperate, do some scrambling thing, when really all you have to do is, it's very calm. I make the save. All I do, square myself up and get into a blocking position. And because look how close the puck is to me, he really doesn't have much of an angle to do anything else but hit me with it. So nice and calm. I'm in a complete blocking style there. No holes in my body, because that's about the only way the puck would have got through me at that point, or scored at that point, is if it got through me. There was no getting around me. I make the save. My defenseman clears the puck. So just kind of pointing out how to stay calm in a situation like this, even though initially it seems like, oh my God, the puck's bouncing around. Just stay calm. All it takes is very little adjustment to go into a blocking position. Boom. Make the save. What I will say is I am a bit of a scrambling goalie by nature. So there's a good chance in other situations I might have done some desperate move. What kind of forced me to make the calm move that was the right move here was my stick gets tangled up with that guy, and it kind of forces me to just sit there and go into the blocking position, which ended up being the right thing to do. But I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, normally I am kind of more of an all over the place, crazy goalie. So I might not play that the same way if my stick hadn't been kind of tied up there. But that's how you should play it. Okay, again, this is nothing crazy to point out here, but again, you see me in the RVH with this chest protector, covering everything there, and it's just to point out why we do the RVH, because there's a lot of hate on it, and 100%, guys use it at the wrong times, guys overuse it, and it causes goals. Doesn't mean there is never a time for it. Perfect example of the time for it. Comes around, go in the RVH, it's right next to the goal. This guy's right in front. He just tries to, he shoots it immediately right at the goal, but there's nothing for him to shoot at. I'm there. I'm covering the whole short side. I mean, the only way would have been is if he would have had to lift it at such an impossible angle to get it like above my head. But it wasn't going to happen in that play. I mean, basically smothered the play by being in the RVH here, and there's no real danger. Cover the puck, boom, that's it. So we're just kind of showing like why the RVH is useful when used properly. Okay, so kind of like that one I showed you before where I'm in the VH. Again, I wanted to show you another example of that, why I love doing that move in this specific situation. Again, he's got a little bit of a better angle than that other guy did, but it's still a pretty sharp angle. And his proximity to me, I know if I do the VH, I basically have everything covered, especially now I'm lifting my glove up to cover what might be the only available spot, which would be like a couple inches next to my ear on that side. But this is really the optimal position here in that VH for this situation, where the glove is up covering basically the only hole available by the side of my head. My body, the way my legs are, cover everything else from that angle. There's no way he's scoring there. The only way he's scoring is if I do something wrong. If I don't have the proper coverage right and I have a hole in my body, then it could sneak in. But if I do that right, he has nothing to shoot at, and it's an easy save right into my glove. Boom. And just take a look at this last part again in real time. You can see it's so calm, right? Like, I mean, if you didn't see me and you just see this guy's situation, oh my God, he's wide open, he's right there. But look, it's an easy save when you know you can completely eliminate all angles and the guy has nothing to shoot at. So it's just another example of why I really love that play in this. Again, he's on his forehand there, right-handed shooter. So you can just eliminate everything with that play there. All right, and this is just, if you've seen some other videos of me playing, you know I love poke checks. I mean, I'm a little bit of an older goalie, so, you know, for me, it was something taught as like an important part of goaltending when I was younger. Now, I'm not going to say they don't teach it at all, but definitely younger goalies don't do it as much. So, and again, you got to read the situation because you can't just do it at any point because you can really get burned and you will see that on the goal play coming up later. But if you're reading this play, what does this guy have? He's not going to shoot that. First of all, he's not, the way the stick blade is, he's not in position to shoot it. His only option is to try to cut across because he's got nothing short side there. So, and I have my defenseman closing in on him. So I know he really doesn't have many options. He's just going to try to come across with it. So I know it's the perfect time to do a poke check. Kind of go down in the VH there, just in case the puck comes towards me. I'm in position there for it to hit me. But keep my stick out, boom, easy poke check, eliminates the play, and it's done. The best save is a save you don't have to make, and that's what a poke check is for. It eliminates the need for a save because you just knock the puck off the stick. This is the perfect time to do that poke check there. Whereas if I didn't, I mean, again, he doesn't have a good position there, especially with my defenseman closing in on him. But, you know, you never know. If he throws that on net and it just comes off me weird or something, you never know what could happen. But you do the poke check and then the play's over. That's it. Easy. Okay, and so again, how I showed you like some easy things I did good that stop play, this is something easy that was a problem. I don't get it clean at all. I don't know if it's that because maybe I didn't get a clean look at it because you see it kind of cuts across the front of my defenseman. So maybe I just didn't, again, I don't really remember at this point. It's been a few weeks, but maybe I didn't just quite see it too well off the stick. So I caught it late. You know, as you can see, I have to kind of change the position. It's like last minute, like, oh, there's the puck. And I kind of move my glove out awkwardly. So I don't catch it. So what does that create? A bad rebound. Luckily, this guy almost I don't know, it's like he wasn't paying attention or I don't know what's happening, but he didn't really do anything. He barely just kind of pokes it towards the net very slowly. So it's easy. I slide over and make this, if you even want to call that a save. Shot was so puny, but it could have been worse, right? Like this easily could have resulted in a goal. That was a bad rebound to give up. You got to glove those. You got to stop that. So let's just watch it again in real time. Yeah, bad rebound. Could have been a lot worse. Luckily, it wasn't. But yeah, importance of making that play and catching it so you don't create unnecessary second chances. Okay, and again, I just want to show another example of RVH done properly and why it works. This is just from the other side. So you saw it from the glove side before. In this clip, you see it on the stick side. Again, you know, the longer you play, you can tell how a play is developing, right? It's called reading the play. I could just tell this guy, like, you can see like the way he turns here so quick that he wanted to do some kind of little wraparound thing. So slide over in the RVH. But he tries to just stuff it in there or whatever, or I don't know if he's trying to pass it or stuff it in, but either way, he had nowhere to go with it. Puts it right into me. Very easy. Cover it up. Boom. Now, for people who, you know, hate RVH and say it's completely, nobody should ever do it, oh, just stand up. Okay, so if I was standing up here, yes, I still would have made the initial save, right? I'd be standing up against the post, and it probably would have hit my stick blade on the ice. This little whatever attempt that was. But now, what happens after it hits my stick and I'm standing up? Maybe it comes off my stick weird, my stick blade weird. Even if it doesn't, I'm standing up and then I have to get down and cover the puck, which, okay, there's nobody around right here, so that probably would have still, in this specific scenario, probably could have done it. But let's say that guy skating in was a little closer, a little faster. Even a split second more that it takes me to cover the rebound could cost a goal. Whereas if you're in the RVH here, I'm already down. All I have to do is put my glove on it. Boom, that's it. I'm not coming from a standing position. So that's why, like, yes, a lot of times you could make the same save standing up, but it's about how you are then able to play a second chance shot. And that's why the RVH became popular and is used. So again, just an example of it used properly and it working. All right, so this one, a little bit of, I don't know, I guess bad process, good result. Although, I don't know, I'm not going to kill myself over this one. So you can't really see it because how I have this zoomed in. My defenseman, or I don't even know if he was a defenseman, actually, it might have been a forward. Anyway, my guy number 16 there gets his pocket picked. So as you notice, it's 16 on both teams there in that play. 16 on the other team picks his pocket and comes in for a shot. So this is something I've noticed myself doing at times, and it's just, the point is you've got to always be ready. You can't assume your guys are going to get it out of the zone. You can't assume they're not going to turn it over. Not that I'm saying it's going to happen every time, but you got to be ready. And for whatever reason, I have noticed with myself that, like, when I have a bad turnover like this right in front of me, I'm not as happy with how I react to it as I could be. I feel like I react a little late to it. So the turnover happens. I should probably already be at this point, like, at the top of my crease, or like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like in my brain, I'm like, oh, wait, what? He turned it over? Oh, shit. And it's like, I should be reacting like a half second sooner. And because I kind of react a little late to this turnover. And again, because I should even be able to see it coming before it actually happens. So now I get a little nervous that, oh, it's a kind of a broken play, it's a turnover, he's got a quick shot. I should be out challenging more here. You saw good examples I showed you of me out challenging in other clips. This one, I'm a little too deep. I'm, half in the crease there, which is giving him some opportunity to shoot around the outside of me, around the edges. I fight it off here and I get a glove on it. This is just a pure reaction save. This is not, my position could have been better. It's just a pure reaction save here that I was able to make this save. But because it's pure reaction, I'm not able to catch it really, because it's just a last second moving my glove thing and it just bounces off it. Now, it doesn't turn into anything. They don't score in this play. So I made the save. No harm, no foul. But like I said, just something I wanted to critique on myself here is that I should have reacted to the turnover a little better, a little sooner, come out a little better. Instead, I kind of like, I don't want to say froze, but I was like, oh shit. And I kind of just, instead of coming out more, I just kind of froze right there. As soon as he started turning, like, oh shit, he's going to shoot it. And I was able to fight it off. But I would like to see myself cut down the angle more. And if I was out, another foot, that's probably just kind of shooting into my arm or side of my chest, and I could probably have held the rebound there. So I just wanted to point that out. Whatever. Like I said, I'm not going to kill myself too much over this because ultimately it was a turnover. And I did fight it off, so whatever. But just wanted to point out what I could have done better on this play. All right, so this is like just a pure battle situation here. So as he's coming in here, I go down to the RVH right here because to me it looked like he was going to try to do something short side. You can see my defenseman kind of like lifts his stick, so maybe he was going to do something short side, and because my defenseman does that, it messed him up, and then it kind of changed what happened. But I was reading that he was going to try to do something short side here, which is why I kind of went down like that. Now my weight is kind of all over the place. I'm not really centered, and I know that he's coming around, so I'm quickly just trying to kick my leg over here, but I'm not in a good like RVH position. I'm kind of sideways, and I'm kind of late on the play. So if I was in a proper RVH and I wasn't late, I totally could have intercepted this pass right here and ended the play. That pass coming across, so you can see I kind of tried to, and like I miss it. Well, actually, you know what? I might have got a little bit of this, but I could have done a better job where I completely just eliminate the play. I cut it off and I cover the puck. But because I'm kind of off balance, it's a little bit of a broken situation here, and I'm not in proper RVH positioning. I don't get a good stick on it, causing this situation. So now I see I kind of whiffed on it. This guy's in a great position to stuff it in, shoot it in here. So now I have to scramble. So I slide over and do what I can to make this save here. And then, luckily I do make the save, and that's the play. So, there's always going to be times we're not perfect. We're not robots. We're humans. We're not going to do everything right. There's always going to be times where you have to battle. So this is just one of those situations. I battled, made the save, but I also wanted to point out, had I been in proper position in the RVH here, I probably could have just eliminated the play right there. Instead, we had this happen. Here is the goal. And I alluded to earlier, this is an example of why you need to read when is the right time to do a poke check, and you can't force it. So again, you're not going to be able to see from this clip, but the situation that happened here was, at this point, we were blowing them out. I think we ended up winning this game like 9-1. And this is in the third already. So I think at this point, it was already like 7-0 or something. It was, the game was a foregone conclusion. Nobody really cared at this point. We all just kind of wanted to go home. My guys were like super. So the faceoff was actually all the way down the other end. And my guys were just like not really caring. They weren't getting in position for the faceoff. So the ref just dropped the puck. The other team was in position. So they just got it right off the drop. And a guy just started skating down the ice and they passed it to him. So the guy was coming in basically by himself just because my team didn't care at this point. So now I had already predetermined, even though the play didn't call for it, I was like, since whatever, everyone's just kind of messing around at this point anyway. And I love doing poke checks. I predetermined that I wanted to try to poke check this guy just because I love doing it. The play did not call for it though. He's got his head up. The angle he's coming in at isn't sharp enough for me to just try to do this when he's looking right at me. But I dead giveaway I'm going to do this poke check here. It's a big poke check. And he just flips it up over me in the net. And if you see here, because you can see kind of where I am before I do the poke check. So just kind of remember where my shoulder is. If I didn't do the poke check and I just went down like in a regular butterfly block, that's basically where he puts the puck. As you can see, the poke check takes me leaning away from there, and now the puck's going like over the crook of my elbow. But look, that's where I would have been had I not tried the poke check. So could have made the save, could have had a shutout. I tried to force the poke check just because whatever, the game was over at this point. I was just kind of messing around. But I just want to show like why you can't just force that. You have to definitely read the situation and make sure it's right to use it. Otherwise, you get burned like this trying to force a poke check. All right. Okay, I know what I wanted to kind of point out in this too. So again, ended up making the save right. Oh, nice glove save. But there was something I could have done better and I wanted to point out here. So this guy with the puck, watch what happens. Like at this point right here, my position is fine. But he kind of drags the puck behind him. Like his body moves forward, but the puck is not moving with him. Like if you see where the puck is relative to his body here, And then when he takes a shot, look how far behind him the puck is. A common mistake we make is our brain sees, our eyes are telling our brain, not our brain sees, our eyes are seeing it. It's telling our brain, oh, this guy's moving to the left. I have to move, or excuse me, my right. This guy's moving to my right. I got to move to my right. But the puck isn't moving with him. And we want to be square to the puck, not to his body. So we make the mistake in this situation, and I made the mistake. I moved, see me moving a little bit, even just that little half shuffle, because I see his body moving that way, and my brain is telling me, oh, I got to move to my right too, because that's where he's moving. But now I'm not quite on angle with the puck. I'm giving him that room, high glove side, and that's why he shoots there. Again, my reactions, I was able to get away with it with my reaction there, but that's not what you want to do. I should have been in a better position, and I know exactly why I wasn't, because I followed his body and not the puck. So, that's the lesson in this clip. You want to follow the puck. You want to be square to the puck, not the body, even if they do. It's very tempting, though. I understand, that's why this mistake happens. It's very tempting. You see the body. You see so much, like basically everything about him other than the puck is moving that way, but the puck is dragging behind him, and you got to stay with that puck. You can't move with the body. So, whatever. Again, made the save, and honestly, even if he would have scored here, we were winning by so much it wouldn't have mattered. But just wanted to point out that little positioning error I had here. All right. What did I want? I don't remember why I was. If there was really anything that specific I wanted to show here. Yeah, gotta be honest. I don't remember what it was I wanted to talk about in this clip. So. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, the rebound, I don't know why the rebound came off so weird there. Like, you see it bounced off the ice, but that's not really, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what I wanted to point out here, but I'm just going to move on. Okay. This was right at the end of the game. So I think this was like the last shot they had. Again, on the surface, you might think, oh, he made a good save. And okay, yeah, again, look, I'll take it. I'll take any save. At this point, I'll take any save. But again, I just want to point out what I could have done better. So he comes in. I like that I'm holding my ground here, but I go down a little early right here. He starts making just this little move right there where he brings it to the front of the blade, and he makes like this move, and I just thought he was gonna like kind of shoot it there. So I start going down, but then right as I'm going down, I see he's actually bringing it across, and it's kind of like an oh shit moment. Now I gotta adjust. So now I have to push off that left leg back there. I get my blocker on it. I make the save. Ideally, I don't bite on this little move there, and I keep my feet. And as soon as he goes there, I do a much more controlled slide over, because if you see here, my torso is facing the wrong way. You want your shoulders, your chest, your head facing the puck. But because I bit early, my torso is facing the wrong way. Now I'm pushing off kind of sideways. My arms are flailing. Luckily, I was able to get my blocker on it. But here's why you don't want to do this. Look at so we're seeing he's shooting it right there. Okay. With the way I went across and my weight's kind of back more towards my butt than forward, yeah, my right leg is on the ice and my blocker's there. But that's all I'm offering as far as something to be able to get the puck with. There's holes between my arm and my body. There's holes above my blocker on the top there. It's not ideal. You're not covering a lot of the net. Basically in goaltending, the idea is you want to cover as much of the net as possible. And this position of me sliding over is leaving way too many holes, and this is not really a successful way to play this. I would say maybe 30% of the time I make the save like this, but more often than not, it ends up finding one of these holes in this situation and going in. So how should I have done it? Again, I was kind of starting to explain it before. Ideally, I stay on my feet here, and then when he does the move, I should have still been on my feet there, and then now at this point, as I see that he's moving that way, my chest should be facing the puck. I should have my weight more forward, and I should project my blocker out towards the puck more to meet him. Kind of the way I end up. Okay, so I've already made the save at this point, but you see how I look there, where I have my chest forward, my blocker ideally should be more forward than what you see here, but it should look more like this when he was here. When he's here, I should look more like that. That way, my body's in front of the puck, blocker is projected in front of the puck. You're basically smothering the angle on him, especially with how close he got. So I just wanted to point out how I could have done that better, because you're not going to, playing it the way I did here, it's not a recipe for success the majority of the time. You know, it happened to work out for me here, but that's what happens when you bite too early and you don't slide across properly with, you know, your weight forward and your chest square to the puck. So yeah, then that's the end of the game. Like I said, we won like 9-1 or whatever. Really was not in doubt at any point. But just wanted to do a little game analysis. Wanted to just show myself playing with the Mach Chest Protector in case anyone wanted to see some footage of that. So yeah, hopefully, you know, you guys maybe learn something from this, learn something from some of the stuff I did wrong, or just see some of the stuff I did right. It's not anything crazy, not rocket science here. It's a lot of basic theory, whatever. But, you know, sometimes it's just, we don't think about it, or sometimes it's just, we need to go back to basics, you know, like a lot of pro guys just practice basic stuff, you know, it's not anything crazy. So if you got your basics down, you know, you have a good foundation there, and then you can move on to other stuff. But yeah, so that's basically it for this video. That's the end, and I'll see you in the next one.